in mind: to unite the world in saving our planet.
It is clear that the environmental crisis which is confronting the world will profoundly alter the future destiny of our planet.
For 5 decades, UNEP has used science and its mandate to bring the world together to help nations find solutions to grave environmental threats.
What is this pollution that we have heard so much about?
The Mediterranean is sick. It's being poisoned slowly but steadily for those who need it most.
The 1970s found a world grappling with an unprecedented crisis of pollution. Could the seemingly irreparable damage be undone? UNEP inspired the world to take action, preventing oil spills and toxic discharge by ships, uniting 143 coastal states to limit ocean pollution and save marine life, reducing air pollution and ending the scourge of acid rain. But soon, the world would face its biggest environmental challenge yet.
The destruction of the ozone layer on a global scale is no longer just a theory. The hole over the Antarctica is no longer an isolated seasonal phenomenon.
If the breach continued to grow, the planet would suffer lethal levels of ultraviolet radiation, harming human health, biodiversity, and climate. In 1987, UNEP facilitated the Montreal Protocol. Over 30 countries agreed to phase out the production of almost 100 ozone-depleting substances. The protocol remains one of the greatest achievements of multilateralism.
All nations gathered here to be proud of what we had achieved.
This success set the tone for a series of powerful accords, limiting the movement of toxic waste across borders, protecting the Earth from dangerous, long-lasting chemicals, and restricting the international trade in mercury. Most recently, in 2021, UNEP finished a 2-decade-long campaign to rid the world of highly toxic leaded petrol, saving an estimated 1 million lives each year. As the world grappled with pollution and waste, another crisis was brewing.
I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests, full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see.
Poaching and habitat loss were pushing some of the world's most iconic animals to the brink of extinction. Driven by science, UNEP supported a series of international treaties, limiting and in some cases banning the trade of endangered species, safeguarding migratory animals, expanding protected areas, and increasing financing for biodiversity protection. The seminal Earth Summit in Brazil introduced the idea of sustainable development.
This is an historical moment for the mobilization of all peoples of the world.
Over the last 5 decades, UNEP has helped more than 100 countries enshrine the right to a healthy environment in their constitutions and produced scientific studies to guide member states in their decision-making. In 2012, a new international body was established to provide scientific data on biodiversity in a joint effort from UNEP and other UN organizations. In 2019, it found that 1 million species face the threat of extinction, underscoring the urgency to act.
Every action we take alters the earth that future generations will inherit.
The world is starting to recognize the effects of planetary warming, but UNEP began sounding the alarm 3 decades ago. As early as 1988, UNEP and the World Meteorological Organization launched the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. For over 30 years, IPCC science has helped member states counter climate change, earning the body a Nobel Prize for its work. UNEP-backed studies have informed some of the planet's most crucial climate accords. These include a 1992 agreement that set a template for curbing greenhouse gas emissions, followed by the Kyoto Protocol and the landmark 2015 Paris Agreement.
I'm proud to announce that 175 parties have signed the Paris Agreement.
UNEP has also mobilized 450 banks, insurers and investors to help create a more sustainable world.
We don't want fossil fuels anymore.
A lot has happened in the last 50 years, but it's the next 10 that will be pivotal for life on this planet.
But in fact, what you and I and other ordinary people around the world can do will not by itself save the natural world. The great decisions, the great disasters that face us can only be dealt with by governments. And that's why this organization is so important.
Over the past 50 years, we've seen when the world decides to act, the world comes together to act. Together with member states and partners, we've achieved a lot. But now is the time to truly make that lift for humanity and to do much more and much faster. And I have every reason to be hopeful. As an organization grounded in science, UNEP will do everything in its power to push for breakthroughs. Our planet and humanity depends on us. Together, we can build a greener and safer and fairer world for all.
We are facing an existential crisis.
Unlike anything the world has ever seen.
We need to take action.
Everyone has to stand up.
The warning is not a new one.
Our world faces a triple planetary crisis of climate change, nature loss and pollution.
For generations, humanity, often without realizing it, has been destroying the natural world. In the name of progress, we have polluted the Earth's oceans, chopped down its forests and clouded its skies. Today, nature and our own survival rest on a knife's edge.
It's time to ratchet up the action that we need to have at the country level.
The United Nations Environment Programme was established with one goal in mind: to unite the world in saving our planet.
It is clear that the environmental crisis which is confronting the world will profoundly alter the future destiny of our planet.
For 5 decades, UNEP has used science and its mandate to bring the world together to help nations find solutions to grave environmental threats.
What is this pollution that we have heard so much about?
The Mediterranean is sick. It's being poisoned slowly but steadily for those who need it most.
The 1970s found a world grappling with an unprecedented crisis of pollution. Could the seeming UNEP inspired the world to take action, preventing oil spills and toxic discharge by ships, uniting 143 coastal states to limit ocean pollution and save marine life, reducing air pollution and ending the scourge of acid rain. But soon the world would face its biggest yet.
The destruction of the ozone scale is no longer just a theory. The hole over the Antarctica is no longer an isolated seasonal phenomenon.
If the breach continued to grow, the planet would suffer lethal levels of ultraviolet radiation, harming human health, biodiversity, and climate. In 1987, UNEP facilitated the Montreal Protocol. Over 30 countries agreed to phase out the production of almost 100 ozone-depleting substances. Greatest achievements of multilateralism.
All nations gathered here can be proud of what we have achieved.
This success set the tone for a series of powerful accords, limiting the movement of toxic waste across borders, protecting the Earth from dangerous, long-lasting chemicals, and restricting the international trade in mercury. Most recently, in 2021, UNEP finished a 2-decade-long campaign to rid the world of highly toxic leaded petrol, saving an estimated 1 million lives each year. As the world grappled with pollution and waste, another crisis was brewing.
I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests, full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see.
Poaching and habitat loss were pushing some of the world's most iconic animals to the brink of extinction. Driven by science, UNEP supported a series of international treaties, limiting and in some cases banning the trade of endangered species, safeguarding migratory animals, expanding protected areas, and increasing financing for biodiversity protection. The seminal Earth Summit in Brazil introduced the idea of sustainable development.
This is an historical moment for the mobilization of all peoples of the world.
Over the last 5 decades, UNEP has helped more than 100 countries enshrine the right to a healthy environment in their constitutions and produced scientific studies to guide member states in their decision-making. In 2012, a new international body was established to provide scientific data on biodiversity in a joint effort from UNEP and other UN organizations. In 2019, it found that 1 million species face the threat of extinction, underscoring the urgency to act.
Every action we take alters the earth, that future generation.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm glad you made it here today. Congratulations to you if you have been a part of the selected applicants for the 2025 CAAP edition of the United Nations SDSN Youth Program. Once again, I want to welcome every one of us for joining this edition. And I am Toby Ojolua. And please kindly rename your name with your state, please. Just go and rename, make sure your state is appearing from your name. And please also introduce yourself from your chat box. Make sure you get connected. It's also a wonderful time to connect with fellow innovators and advocates over there. Once again, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining. And I can assure you that this event and this program tends to bring you to the next phase, both in career and whatsoever you want to desire. And I want to welcome our distinguished speakers and every one of us. I want you to know that you are special one way or the other. You joining and being selected out of over 900 people that applied for these cohorts. You are being privileged to be a part of the selected applicants. So it's a big deal, celebrate yourself. I want to see from the chat box that you are dropping your introduction. Many of us will be dropping our LinkedIn so that we can, connect and get to knit together. All right, in a GV, I will be introducing our co-director in president of Prof. I believe Prof is here now. She'll be joining us to give us the opening remarks for this noon, and definitely you can't wait to meet Prof. Yeah, thank you. I can see from FCT. Yeah, I also like to inform you that the North Central is actually taking lead in her application call this year. We have over 27% of the application coming from the North Central, particularly FCT. So if you are from FCT, celebrate yourself. Awesome. So in the next 1 minute or thereabouts, I'll be welcoming Prof to give us the opening remarks, and we'll be going excellently, fully into what we have for today. And before I bring in Prof on board, I want you to know that this program has birthed lot of innovators in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria alone, across West Africa. And I can tell you of major people doing well, particularly young-led organizations that started from this event. So the question should now be, what do I want to take from this program? Please, I want you to be intentional and deliberate about your application for this year. Please, I would like to bring on board now our co-director in person of Professor Odiaka to have our opening remark. Prof, if you are there, please can you unmute your mic?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Prof. We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, Prof.
Thank
you have the floor,
so much. Good afternoon, everyone. And Happy New Year to each and every one of us. It's another amazing time together. And I know for these change makers, it's going to be wow. Congratulations, I would say. Well, I think you will permit me to just use my audio because my network is really good. Very, very good. I've been changing 3 different networks just to make sure that I connect. So thank God you're hearing me. So just permit me to just speak and leave my video off. I hope that is taken.
Yes, Prof. Please, can you go on now?
Okay, thank you very much. So I think I have to welcome each and every one of you, climate actors and change makers. It's another great opportunity for each and every one of you. And it's with great enthusiasm and a deep sense of purpose that I really welcome you all to the 2025 cohort of the Climate Actors Accelerator Programme, the CAAP CAAP. Congratulations on being selected, because I know it went through very thorough and rigorous time to get you guys in for this transformative journey. And I know definitely you will not regret every second that you're going to be with us for the hours and days you'll be with us. Your presence here is actually a testament to your passion, your commitment, and also determination to be at the forefront of climate action in Nigeria and even beyond. We stand at a critical moment in history. The climate crisis is no longer a distant threat. It's actually here, and you all will agree with me. So impacting lives in the system that we have now, the ecosystems, and even the economics of the crisis that we are facing as of today. We know that we have rising temperatures, extreme weather events, biodiversity loss, pollution, and environmental degradation. And all these are challenges that are confronting us as of today. I'm sure you will remember what happened to, well, this is outside our own country, but recently we heard about the fire outbreak in Los Angeles, so is it California, yeah, in US. It's part of the climate change. So the solutions to these challenges cannot be left to governments and institutions alone. It actually requires bold, innovative, and action-driven young leaders like you. Just touch yourself and say, like me. And I know you are ready to take the bull by the hand. This is actually why the Climate Actors Accelerators Programme was designed in 2022 to empower, to equip, and also activate a new generation of climate leaders who will champion innovative and scalable solutions to address the climate emergency. Well,
Okay, all right, Prof. We can't actually hear you again. I think the network is bad. Please can you let us wait a bit. Prof, please kindly confirm if you can hear me. Oh, I think she's battling with her network. All right, so as we are waiting, Prof, I can see some very funny introduction here. I can see Daniel from Cross River, if I'm right. Awesome, it's nice to connect with you this afternoon from Nigeria. And I hope you know that we also have several people that applied even beyond Nigeria. So I want you to know that it's a great time for us to, engage together during the course of this masterclass and all of these sections we'll be having all through these events. And yeah, let me quickly check these.
So sorry.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Prof. Yeah, please can you go on, ma?
So sorry. My network, like I said, is really, really very bad. So I will just try to rush so that I can just wrap up the whole thing, So by God's grace, I know that it's going to be a very wonderful time. And like I said, over the next few days and months, or weeks and months, you're going to be challenged. So I encourage each of you to embrace this opportunity with passion. Embrace it with dedication. Embrace it with a spirit of innovation. The climate solution you create today will shape the future we will all share tomorrow. This is your moment. This is your time. It is an opportunity to rise, to take action, and to lead the way in building a greener and more sustainable, climate resilient Nigeria. At the end of this program, by His grace, you will not only gain a wealth of knowledge and hands-on experience, but you will also become recognized climate champions, equipped to drive change at local, national, and also global levels. So the impact you create will definitely echo far beyond this room. I'm sure it's going to inspire and bring a lot of inspiration to communities, influencing policies, and also accelerating and transitioning to a sustainable future. So on behalf of the United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network Nigeria, led by our director, Professor Labode Kukwala, whom I know would have been with us, but is such a busy person. I extend my warmest congratulations and welcome you all to the 2025 cohort of the Climate Actors Accelerator Programme. And I wish you all a truly impactful and inspiring experience. Thank you so much for this great opportunity you've given me to be with you. And I know that at the end of it all, you will thank God that you were with us in this cohort. God bless you and have a wonderful time.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Please let's celebrate Prof.
Over to you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Prof she's our mother, and indeed, from your words, it's so obvious that your love towards younger generation is massive. Please let's appreciate Professor from the Shark Boss. Please let's celebrate her. Thank you so much, Ma. We so much appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you more with us, even in our sessions. Thank you so much, Ma. All right, going forward this afternoon, I would like to.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Ma. All right, going forward, we would like to hear the testimony of past fellows of this fellowship, and we'll be bringing on board Shaz. Shaz, please, if you are there, you can just signify to show that you are here. He is a 2022 fellow. Oh, Ada, sorry. She is a 2022 fellow, and we would love to hear her impact story to see how many of us can also, get inspired from her own story. Shaz, if you are there, please kindly unmute your mic. You have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here.
All right, we can see you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to be here. Nice to be here. Anyway, hope everyone can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, please.
Okay, anyway, I am Mrs. Charles Akoma Ugonna from Abia State, 2022 fellow of CAAP, Climate Actors Accelerator Programme in 2022. The journey was worth it. I must say that it really impacted me. One of the days when we had a environmental tour at Ibadan, I met with Mr. Ola. He was able to groom us, tell us so many things about climate, environment, and their interplay. I was very keen to know him more about climate. So after that program, I developed passion. Everything they said we should do, I committed myself to doing them. So to an extent, I was a state representative. I was a representative of my state, Abia State, where I and my team handled a project in school, turning waste into wealth, going to schools, educating them on waste management, and providing everything that they needed to make them able to, manage their waste effectively. So with that passion and everything I learned, I moved into agriculture, into fishery. Then from fishery, I still had passion for climate. When I spoke with him 2 weeks ago, I told him, sir, I now have an organization. He said, wow, I have a non-governmental organization. All these things stems from my engagement in CAAP 2022. That increased my network and also increased my net worth. So in last 2 weeks, I told him I'm now an executive director of my own organization, and we focus on climate, education, and health. Because when these three are interplay, When the health of a person is not in order, you look into the environment. Is environment conducive enough to foster health? So now, based on health, you talk about education, climate education, catching them young, enabling them to know that this is the only planet that we can call our own. Earth, this is the only planet we can call our own, and we have every.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank you so
Shaz.
much. Thank you so much.
We so
Thank you
much
so much.
appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Please let's celebrate Mrs. Shaz for that wonderful story. I believe you have been inspired via our own story. All right. Because of our time, sorry, we just have to cut you from that. We are just trying to manage our time. All right. Going forward, I would like to bring on board our guest speaker for today, and I would like to quickly read out our bio, and please kindly let's listen to this as we welcome our keynote speaker for today. Ibironke Oluwabamiṣe, a fellow of Children's Scholar and alumni of IVLP. She is the pioneer national coordinator of the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program implemented by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP Nigeria, managing one of the biggest small grants program country programs globally. She provides strategic oversight for the country program, develops the country program strategies for every phase of JEF. She also coordinates the National Steering Committee, which provides oversight functions and works with Technical Advisory Group, which provides support for program management. She has worked with and built capacity of over 150 civil society organizations to implement over 200 environmental projects in over 220 communities in 30 states. She also coordinated the community-based READ Plus program of the United Nations, reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation in Nigeria. Prior to this, she headed the Technical Programs Department of the premier environmental NGO in Nigeria, the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, as the first Nigerian female to occupy that position. She has over 30 years of experience in conservation, environmental management, grant administration, and strategic leadership. She is a mentor and has built the capacity of many CSOs for project conceptualization, proposal writing, project implementation, resource mobilization, knowledge management, partnership building, mentorship, career development, and advocacy campaigns. She also partners with the staff of Federal Ministry of Environment to support the fulfillment of Nigeria's obligation to many of the environment-related multilateral agreements. With clapping ovation and with standing ovation from wherever we are, please join me as I make welcome Mrs. Ibironke. Good afternoon, Ma. Thank you so much for having us.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. And I want to say good afternoon to everyone that is on this meeting. I can see so many people have joined already. And I want to sincerely appreciate the organizers of this program. Despite the fact that I got the invitation very late, I was so much interested in what the group stands for and what the program is all about. And I said, well, even today, I have to just pull myself up because I'm a little bit under the weather, but I had to just pull myself up and said, no, I have to seize the opportunity to speak with these amazing innovators and future, that starts now actually, future great people on this program. So it's my pleasure, and I want to also use this opportunity to appreciate the promoters, Professor Ngozi Odiaka. Thank you so much for the good work you're doing, encouraging these young people, and all the team together. I appreciate you all. So I will just briefly just share my ideas with us, and I hope that that will stir up our thoughts and our resolve to do something good for the environment and climate change by reference. Thank you so much for the privilege of having me. Yeah, just to share with us, I want to just stir up with some facts and figures, which some of us already are aware of. Definitely, I want to believe. No, yeah, please, before I go on, I want to also appreciate all those who have scaled through the process of screening. I just discovered that the application, I mean, all of you that have scaled through, you have gone through a process of screening, and then of course, being selected for this program means that you have proven not only your competence, but your desire to do something worthwhile for the environment. And I hope that the experience will be very, very worth it for you. I'm happy to hear the testimonial of one of the participants in the earlier program. We have heard that 2024 now is the warmest year ever. And actually, that is no longer, to me, so to say, is no longer news, because when we were in 2024, we were told 2023 was the warmest year ever. The same thing in 2023, 2020. So it keeps on increasing. The temperature of the Earth's surface keeps on increasing, and this is a big concern to everybody. I also have the fact that says that 37% of heat-related deaths is due to human activities. So heat-related deaths, 37% of them are due to human activities. Then the highest CO2 emission ever recorded is also in year 2024 in history. And yes, we also have this statistics that says that 98 million more people are experiencing food insecurity, which is increasing also by the day. From the figure that we have in 1981 to 2010 average. Arts carrying capacity, definitely, we know now. Before it was like, oh, we are getting to the edge of the Earth's carrying capacity. And then the Earth's carrying capacity is the capacity of the Earth to support the number of people that are living on Earth. And of course, we know, even in Nigeria alone, somebody that lives in Abuja, maybe if you have lived in Abuja for the past 10 years, you will see the influx of people everywhere. Many of the places that used to be forest before now, they are all occupied either by estates or by people or even some squatters. You see them everywhere is cleared up. And this is a cause for concern. So this addressing some of these issues through climate action, the good thing about it is that addressing some of these issues through climate action can also generate significant economic gain for us. Somebody was talking about, so just to digress, about Trump's executive order. And I said, I rather want to see it from the positive perspective. Inside every problem, the solution is there. So instead of us shouting about what he has said, what is the good in it for us, especially as Africans? That's aside. So what I'm saying is that even the problem of climate change that we face now, there is so much opportunities for us to see, if we choose to see the positive side of things, there is so much opportunities for us. Somebody came up with a football some time ago. I don't know if, I'm sure some of us, we heard about the story that when you kick the ball, it generates energy. I mean, that would not have been an issue. I mean, that would not have come up. Somebody would not have sat down to think, can this thing bring energy? If we're not facing energy crisis, if we're not facing climate change issues. And a whole lot of innovations have come up. A whole lot of innovations have come up. We also know that displacement of people is also ongoing. Well, of course, in Nigeria, we've had security issues. Thank God that it's kind of reducing. Well, from my own perspective, maybe some may say no. We've had these security issues, but I want to believe that you will agree with me that, yes, we know that there are some agitations from some quarters, but we know that one of the issues, main issues that is causing this agitation is drought, deforestation, forests degradation, desert encroachment, and all these things, they bring untold problems to humanity. Many people have been displaced from their original or ancestral homes because of conflicts, and because the conflict is fueled by scarcity of resources, natural resources, and land. We have learned about species extinction and so many issues like that. Oceans are drying up. Ice is melting in the ocean. And I remember there is a particular, I've forgotten the name of the country now. They're actually seeking to buy land from another country because their country is almost being overrun by ocean ice melting and then increasing volume of water in the ocean, which I am sure we know that when ice melts, then it takes more space. The water liquid that is formed takes more space. So we have climate refugees, and especially in the poorest of the countries of the world, even though the poorest of the countries are not the major contributor to climate issues. So it makes the climate change issues to become an issue for everyone. Those who are in the developing countries, they have their issues to face, and then those in the developed countries, or the industrialized world, they have the issues of what they face as far as climate change is concerned. And of course, some of them with the guilt of what they have done to the environment, and they're looking for a way to right what was wrong. And then, of course, those of us in the developing countries, we can't fold our hands. Of course, I tell people, if anybody says I don't believe in the science of climate change, all those scientists that they are bringing out facts and figures, don't worry yourself. You don't even need to go to the lab to know that climate is changing. I mean, you see the trees are cut off, small increase in, by the time the sun comes up now, everybody is fanning themselves because there is no trees to absorb the heat again. So we have so much of these climate-related issues that are bedefiling us. Why this should now be your concern is because, like Prof also mentioned, there are no two Earths, no two planet Earths. We are here to stay. Yes, of course, we have heard stories of people exploring other planets. But I know that for some of us that believe in God, God knows what he is doing when he created planet Earth and put human beings on it. If we said we want to conquer the other planets, even if we're able to conquer the other planets, what gives us the impression that the same thing we have done to the Earth, we will not do it to the other planets? So it is not a matter of us looking for escape routes. It's a matter of us addressing the issues that face us. Then, of course, because many of us here, they say leaders of tomorrow. But usually I say it, you start the leadership now. You don't wait until tomorrow when you wait until tomorrow to occupy the leadership position, it's late already. So leaders of tomorrow, you will be in positions where you have to take decisions, where you have to develop policies, where you have to develop, whether it is development policy, whether it is economic policy, whether it's whatever it is, even scientific policies. This information are very important for us to know, and then that will help us to do the right thing. And then, of course, the youth, we're talking about the youth. You have the energy, you have the mental energy, and you have the physical energy to do something about these problems. Then, of course, I always am an advocate of purpose. I used to say one of my, my philosophy for life is, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So if we don't know the purpose why we are, where I'm going for this is that for individuals, many of us, you find your purpose, just like the beautiful story of testimony that we heard earlier. You find your purpose even in doing some of these things, in applying your heart to it, to do something that is worthwhile. And then you have great opportunities abound. Like I said before, great opportunities. Yes, we have the great problems, but we also have the great opportunities that abound, especially here where we are in developing countries. Honestly, there is no lack of solution. It is a lack of somebody to just sit down and think about the solutions. And then, of course, our personal. So these are some of the things that will affect us, both individually, even family-wise, group-wise, age-wise, and globally. Like one of my lecturers used to say, environment does not forgive, and we have to have that in front of our minds, not even at the back now, because when it sits at the back, the challenge is that we can forget, it tends to forget. But when we put it in front of your head that environment does not forget, people say that there is natural disaster. I am one of the people that don't so much believe in natural disaster. I believe every disaster is a result of human activities in one way or the other. But you see, when the result or the repercussion of whatever we are doing don't happen immediately, then we tend to forget it. And when that thing happens years down the line, then we say it's a natural disaster. But I challenge us today to think about it, whether they're actually natural disasters or man-made disasters that did not happen immediately. So from my personal experience, I have been privileged to be in this field and in this space for a while. And I have seen and worked with a couple of people and couple of places. And talking about what we have done at the small grants program, like my brother has read earlier, the idea of the small grant is to promote any and every environmental idea. And more importantly, we support small but mighty projects. What I mean is that they have the potential to be great. They have the potential to become mighty, which, you know, the private sector will not readily want to support because they are looking at the bottom line. But the SGP is ready to prove to any other person that is interested in taking up this idea, we're ready to support. So we pride ourselves at supporting pilot projects that we know can make a lot of difference down the line if we make it to be sustainable. So we have supported projects, as has been read before. The JEF, let me just say a little bit. The JEF is the largest funder of environmental projects all over the world. And majority of the funds of the JEF goes to the developing countries, actually, to address environmental issues. And then, of course, the JEF is the funding agencies for all other environmental projects that developing organizations, we call them Bretton Woods organizations, they implement. And we have about 18 agencies of the GEF, of which UNDP is one of them. And for the small grant program, as at today, even though, well, the story is about to change somehow, but as at today, the UNDP is the only implementer of the GEF small grant program. And we have supported civil society organizations, as it has been read before, in Nigeria. And GEF is also in, for the benefit of colleagues who are on this meeting who are not Nigerian, we have GEF in over about 137 countries in the world currently, and we're still counting. And then so each country, I'm sure about 52 countries in Africa are participating in the GEF Small Grant Program. And why am I saying this is that the innovations you are likely to come up with, the ideas you're likely to come up with, I want to believe that majority of them should be able to be supported by this GEF Small Grant implemented by UNDP. So put your thinking caps on and start coming up with the ideas that will save the planet, that will save us, either even from the community point of view, or from regional point of view, from national point of view, or even globally. I want to believe that if your ideas are well thought out, you should be able to get support. So in conclusion, I want to, like I mentioned before, aside science, we don't need anybody. I mean, many of us, anyway, that's the reason why all of us are part of this meeting, actually. Even if you don't know so much about it, you have heard about it. If you have not heard about it, you have felt it. You have felt climate change in one way or the other. And what I want to throw out to the younger ones is that please don't stop at just talking about climate change. Please go deep and understand, even if you don't understand the depth of the science of climate change, but understand the issues very well. So that when you are discussing, when you are talking at any fora, you are able to speak from an informed point of view. And we know that the main issue about climate change and environmental issues that we're talking about is, we know also that nature also has the solution. It's so funny. Nature also has the solution to climate change if we will look into it, if we will think about it. So we have heard of various nature-based solutions that have come up. And so remember, in the midst of the challenges, the solutions are there waiting for us. Creativity will give you an edge anytime. And I don't believe that anybody is without a creative idea. Everybody, the creator who created everybody, has invested something into everyone. All we need to do is to put our thinking caps on and come up with that. And my promise is that, like I said before, the GEF Small Grants Program, the UNDP program, is ready to support any creative idea. Currently, we are supporting the Nigerian Youth Biodiversity Network. We are helping them to develop their policy on environment. And I'm sure there's something you can also, I mean, you can collaborate, you can work together. That's the SDSN youth. You can work together, see what they are doing, and see you can cross-fertilize your ideas together and do something bigger. And I believe that doing this will help not only yourself personally, it will help the global community. Remember, environment does not have boundaries. So whatever we do here affects, it's us. It is us that put political boundaries in the environment. And that's the reason why it is important for the whole world to come together to address this issue. And somebody said that one person starting to make a difference can go a long way. Don't wait for anybody. Just think and bring out the innovation. I want to appreciate the SDSN youth, and I want to congratulate those who have scaled through the screening process and they're coming up with ideas, great ideas. I can't wait to see the great ideas that will come up. And then we'll see what we can do to support the ideas as necessary. Thank you very much for having me again. Thank you so much for this great work you're doing. I'm available to provide more support as necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Ibironke, and a very good afternoon to you, Ma. And thank you for these insights you've shared with us. Thank you for the motivation. We sincerely appreciate you. I want to believe each and every one of us, we've been inspired this afternoon. Get on the comment section to whichever way you which want to appreciate our keynote speaker for today's occasion. Please do that. And those of us who are also on the YouTube, I can see a lot of people joining on YouTube. However, we've made room for you to also join on Zoom. You can use the comment section. Please, let's appreciate our keynote speaker today. And just like she said, one person starting to make a difference can go a long way. And in every challenges which we see, which we identify, every problem which we see in our respective community, there can always be a solution. There's a solution waiting within that process. And once again, we really want to celebrate and appreciate you, Ma, for your time you spent with us this afternoon. Thank you for the knowledge you've shared. But before you go, I know definitely you have a lot of engagement for today, but before you go, we would still like to take a virtual group photograph with you and every other person. We also have one of our alumni in person of Jennifer Obiora. I'm going to be calling on you. She would like to also share a testimonial because she was part of the previous CAAP actors. But before I bring up Jennifer, I would like to recognize the presence of a reputable fellow as also a climate leader expert in person of Mr. Olumide Idowu. Thank you for joining. I'm glad, and this is also someone that you can get to connect with and also learn from. Thank you for the amazing work, and thank you for joining. Thank you once again, Madam Ibironke, for this great opportunity. I know that it was very close. And thank you for believing in this program. Right about now, Jennifer, would like to have you for just 2 minutes to share what your experience was during your own cohort. Jennifer, you can go ahead and unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Very good afternoon.
Sorry for joining a little bit late. I had some challenges this morning, but that's fine. So I was part of the cohorts. I think we were the first cohorts. I feel, am I correct? In
Hopefully, let me say yes. Yeah, 2022 was the first cohort, that's true.
Okay, yeah. So that was my first time of applying for a fellowship and my first time of hearing about climate change. So I would say that this experience was really it's part of what shaped my journey in the climate space today. Because before then, I was doing stuff related to policy making, anti-corruption. But then I don't think I was very passionate about the topic. Not until I joined the Climate Actors Accelerator Programme. That was when I got to learn about climate change. And I saw that, some of the things I was doing previously are also related to climate change. My waste management initiatives, because I've been doing that for a while before I joined the program. So that was when I knew that, this is related to climate change. I got to learn about the Sustainable Development Goals and how we can combat climate crisis. Then we did the project and I got certified as one of the climate actors. So since then, I ventured full-time into the climate space, started exploring other opportunities, this program opened my eyes to climate change. I'll say that it brought me to my dream field, like where God destined me to be. Because when I was focusing on the policy aspects, yeah, I got some few stuffs, but I didn't go far with it. When I was focusing only on education, I didn't go far with it. But the moment I entered into the climate space through this program, that was when I had a breakthrough. I started getting other grants for my projects. I started getting international trips, speaking opportunities, a lot of things. I started becoming well known in the climate space. So all thanks is to this program, because I was able to join this program. Assuming I didn't join, I wouldn't have known what climate change is. I wouldn't have heard of climate change. So that's why I recommend the program to anybody. A lot of my group members got into this program. At least there are like more than 10 or 15 of them that are in this program from my group members. Yeah. Some would ask me, are they giving grants, this. I told them, well, during our time, we had to use our money to do the project, but that's because of it's something we're passionate about. And what we spent on the project is nothing compared to what I've gotten now, because I was part of this program. I was able to get so many other things, like I used to share with you.
Amazing. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, Jennifer. And we are glad to see the great strides which you're making globally, not just within the shores of Nigeria. I know that we have other participants from 2023, 2024, which we could have brought to this program, but we are going to keep it short. Definitely, you can still connect with them and to see what they have done and how you can get to start or you can get to scale up, because we also believe that there are some of you that already have an idea, you have an innovation, you have a product, be it digital, maybe tech solution, sort of climate tech solution. Definitely, this is an opportunity for you to get to scale up. And just like Madam Ibironke said, she's looking forward to the amazing impact, amazing solution which you are bringing to solve the issues of climate crisis within the shores and beyond Nigeria. Once again, I want to say congratulations to each and every participant that made it to this level. And it's a great opportunity for each and every one of you. And we believe that it's going to be a transformative learning experience for each and every one of you. You don't need to have a very good understanding of what the SDGs or what climate change or transition and all of that is, but we can assure you with the various modules we have for you across the masterclass session, definitely you are going to be well imparted. I'm going to be sharing a brief regarding the information session, just like what the program is all about, the overview of the program and the activities. I believe that each and every one of us already received the program brief. But before we go to that, I would just appreciate if we can all on our video camera. But for our YouTube participants, I understand that you might not be able to on your video camera, but I'm going to give you an hashtag. An hashtag is what we are going to use to capture your presence in this session. And the hashtag which I'm going to give you is that's going to be hashtag accelerate SDG. Accelerate SDG. And that you're going to see that on the comment section, whereby you can also get to pick it. But those of us on Zoom, please let's try as much as possible to put on our videos, and we can get to take the group photograph for this session, and we dive into the information session fully. I hope the project team the back end are there to pick these beautiful faces and beautiful pictures we are seeing from each and every one. Yeah, I can see a lot of people. I can see Anolu Akpo from Ondo State. I can see Praise from Ogun State. And I'm going to be mentioning people that I can see their state and their name. I can see Ugo. I can see Afar. I can see Abolaji. I can see a lot of people joining. Yeah, please keep on in your video. We'd like to just take this group photograph very shortly while we move to the next part of this discussion, which is likely to be the ending part, but very, very important. Yeah, I hope we are done. Are we good? Okay, awesome, awesome. It's good to see your beautiful faces, and yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you. So you can then put off, you can switch off your video if you want to, and if you also want to leave it on, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine by us. We're glad to see your wonderful faces and see that you are connecting well with us. Briefly, I will just share as regards the activities of this program. And as you all know, that this program is going to be for 4 months and spanning from today to the month of June. Ideally, we always close this program during the World Environment Day. We always have an event, Conference of Youth on Environment and Climate, which is likely going to be holding 4th and 5th of June, 2025. The location will be disclosed to you later. However, it's very, very important for you to make good use of this time. And the life and the knowledge which you're going to gain here is beyond the program. It's beyond this program. Like I said, right about now, we are going into the masterclass session where you have your advanced workshops, and you're going to have trainings that has to do with ecosystem restoration. Aside the context of, definitely you're going to learn everything about climate change, sustainable development on this program. Then you're also going to learn more about environmental law and policy. Definitely you'll be surprised if I tell you the number of laws and policies that exist in Nigeria. Even the one that you think that you thought that doesn't exist, it exists. But definitely we all have to, it all starts from each and every one of us. So we don't need to wait to the government to enact those laws. So when you get to that course, you definitely learn better there. Then you also learn more on circular economy and sustainable waste management. And a very favorite, well, to me, it's a very favorite course, which I really love to learn over and over again. That's green economy. You get to learn more on green economy. You learn on ocean and blue economy. You get to learn more on sustainable building and construction, and also renewable energy and energy management. Then there's a part that has to do with environmental risk assessment, then climate innovation, science and technology. These are the major workshops which you're going to have during the masterclass session of the program. And definitely in the month of May, we are going to be having climate innovation bootcamp. And this is mainly for the qualified participants from phase 2. So for me not to jump, I will just quickly share my screen that has to do with what the program is all about. I mean, the timeline of this accelerator program. It's a very short program for this year, and we are trying to keep to time and ensure that no one is left behind. For everyone on YouTube, I can see you and I recognize you. Thank you all for the participation from beginning. We always say leaving no one behind. So the fact that they are not with us on Zoom, we also have to acknowledge their presence. So I'm just going to share my screen to quickly inform about the activities we have for other phases of the program. And I want to believe that each and every one of you have studied this document, this program guide. Without this information session, you can have a full understanding of what this program is going to bet and what the various activities in the program. Currently, we're having the onboarding session. However, you're going to start your masterclass trainings next week, and which is going to span for like a month or 5 weeks, basically. And you're going to have 10 modules. It's going to be focused on 10 main modules for the masterclass session, and it's going to span between 2 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. every Friday. For today, we apologize for our Muslim brethren. That's one reason why we're also trying to close this call as early as possible so that they can get to pray. But very, very important, every Friday, 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., you're going to be having your masterclass training. And at the end of the masterclass training, you're going to be having an assessment and knowledge evaluation to determine and give you and make you understand if at all you have a good knowledge, or you have to go and study again, you have to start all over again. But definitely you're not going to have carryover. It's just for you to learn, and every resources that are being shared with you, every presentation from those industry experts that are coming on board in the masterclass session, you get to study over it again and again. Then we move to the phase 2. The phase 2 is more of impact and is more of we getting to learn and get to research. This phase 2 is going to start in the month of April, and there's an activity that we're also introducing for every climate actors. It's the Eco 30 Sustainable Living Challenge, and this is going to be in the month of April as well. But the very first part is the climate education and sensitization. Very, 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 very important. Every climate actors are going to be carrying on their education and sensitization program across their respective location. This might, it definitely might target this within your community, and mostly, at least, this should be a group that is close to you and within, let's say, 5 kilometer, 3 kilometer proximity from your current location. And a key part of this phase 2 activity, which I don't want you must not miss out, is the research and workshop. The research and workshop. The research is you getting to have a deep dive on some key areas. And we have areas like circular economy, sustainable agriculture, green energy, and you are going to be grouped. You are going to be grouped in your states, in your respective states WhatsApp communities. That's very sure. I know you have a single group currently. We are going to be in your respective state WhatsApp community, and depending on the thematic area which you are very interested in, and you feel like, oh, this is of major concern to my state. There are some states now that when you talk about circular economy, they are top at it. I don't want to mention them. And there are some states that when you talk about circular economy, they are just going to be looking at you like, what are you talking about? And there are some states that they get to prioritize everything that has to do with biodiversity conservation and all of that. And you need to address this from what the pain point of your state is, what can be the solution, and what are you recommending in this regard. And that's what the climate research and workshop series is all about. And once you've come up with your research and every other findings and recommendation, you have a workshop to that effect. But the community-based projects has to do with a particular activity. It might be a cleanup, which you are going to be carrying out in your respective states. And this is also going to be a statewide approach. So it's not an individual thing. Both the climate research and community-based projects is a statewide approach. However, at the end of all of this, we are to submit our reports. And there's one thing about SDSN and Youth Nigeria and SDSN generally. Once they give you a date for a program, and once you don't submit that day, believe me, they are not going to extend the date, and they might not collect that, they might not accept that report again. And that might disqualify your state, and you might not be able to move to the next stage. If we check a part of this program guide that states clearly that it's only those who complete and fulfill the requirement of phase 1 that will be advanced to phase 2, and it's only those who fulfill the requirement of phase 2 will be advanced to phase 3. At the initial stage of phase 3, we're going to be having the Climate Innovation Bootcamp, and this is definitely going to be a virtual bootcamp for now due to some reasons. We are still looking forward to the time whereby we have enough resources to host each and every one in a physical bootcamp. I think quarter 1, we had the privilege of bringing art talks from different states, and we had an environmental tour to some locations in Nigeria, and it was a very great time for every participant. For the Climate Innovation Bootcamp, you're going to be having hands-on training across different aspects of business model, getting to pitch and getting to have your business canvas well set. And another thing which is very, very important is the innovation part. This innovation part is very, very important. And definitely, before the end of this program, like I said, you might come empty, like you don't really know anything about climate. But at the end of this program, we can assure you that you are going to have a vast knowledge and you have a scalable solution which you can get to pitch out there, and which you can, like Jennifer said, a lot of people that I know that have reached out to me, oh, the solution I pitched during the Climate Actors Accelerator Program is what has taken me globally, and now I get a lot of grant and opportunities. So the fact that you might not get that that big money you're looking for, it's, you know, it starts from, you don't have to despise the place of little beginning. You have to start small and you keep growing and you keep growing. And we are going to monitor your progress. That's our major concern. And I hope during this climate innovation process, you also have one or two mentors who are going to be sharing their vast experience. Like, one thing we believe in SDSN is for every solution, the easiest and quickest way for each and every youth to achieve it is when they have someone they are learning from. And definitely, we are also going to have some people which you can get to learn from, you can get to consult. And towards the end of the program, we are going to have a virtual graduation. Definitely it's going to be a physical graduation because, like I earlier said, we're going to be having the Conference of Youth on Environment and Climate in June. That's when we always have, that's when we have the top 10 where they get to pitch their climate innovation, and also they get awarded. And another thing which is very paramount about that is there are some people that it's through that event they get to see the right set of network. And lastly, a keynote speaker mentioned something the other time when it comes to partnership, you know, and I also want to say that again, you don't live life alone. There are some of these projects that it's when you get to this event, you get to see like-minded people that you can work together and you can collaborate together. You don't need to be the founder of everything. Definitely, you can have people you are co-founding to, but we can assure you that this program is going to help you and guide you well all through the process. And I think at this very point, I don't know if there is any question, but I also don't want to exceed. I also don't want to exceed beyond the time which I have to do my own presentation. And like I said, for our WhatsApp group, we are going to be posted to our various state WhatsApp group later in the month of March. But the official mode of communication for this program is via email. Please, via email. We know some of you are on the WhatsApp and you see some of the admin and you felt like, oh, I can reach out to I can enter their DM 9 p.m. in the evening or early in the morning. Please, whatever you want to communicate, just communicate it via email. When you get to the phase whereby you're on your real estate groups, then you can get to network and connect better. And for each and every one, please try as much as possible to take note of the training schedule and so you can add it to your calendar. I hope the project team are also going to do that, whereby they can book those days into your Google Calendar and you can note those days without missing out in any of the session. And I want to say that congratulations once again. And on behalf of the leadership of SDSN Youth, on behalf of the leadership of SDSN Nigeria, we want to say congratulations to each and every one of you that has made it successfully to this phase. We can assure you that through this program, you are going to make great strides and you are going to come up with those transformative solutions, which is going to help to achieve a more sustainable and climate resilient future. I don't know if I'll be able to attend to questions, but I'm just trying to save our time. Yeah, I think Jennifer shared our WhatsApp number the other time, so you can get to connect with her. However, in all other sessions which we'll be having, there are opportunities. The programs team are there to respond to every of your concerns and any requests which you have, they are there to respond to it. And once again, let me greatly appreciate our keynote speaker for today. Thank you so much, Ma, for your time, and we look forward to more of your support, and we look forward to greater things to work together in the coming future. And I must not stop this presentation and before I hand over to Oluwatoyin to give the closing remark, I must appreciate our esteemed co-director, Professor Ngozi Odiaka, and who has always been with us right from day one. I remember during 2022 quad, he even joined the group and said, Emmanuel, don't worry, I'm observing. I'm also learning from you guys. I love the engagement and every of that. She has been so supportive. And thank you so much, Ma. And to the entire project and programs team of SDSN and every team on SDSN, thank you for the amazing work which you're doing. I think at this point, I will just hand over to Oluwatoyin to close today's event.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you to our dear esteemed participants and guest speakers. I'd really like to say a huge thank you for your time and active participation in the program. And we look forward to the exciting outputs from each and every individual in this program. Thank you all very much once again, and we look forward to the next class. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And once again, let me just say this to close again. Our next engagement is going to be next week, Friday, 2 p.m. GMT +1. Please ensure you note that time and you don't miss the next session and have a wonderful day ahead.